Alright, part 2 of episode 2. I've got my gardening singlet under my hoodie now because it's a bit cooler here in an Auckland morning. So we're going to be transplanting a big ass plant now. But what I wanted to start with, I'm going to take out these cornflowers because I don't want them anymore and put in a new plant. So just quickly to go over these cornflowers. These are a beautiful cobalt blue. So I got these to attract the bumblebees, the pollinating bumblebees. Bees love blue for some reason. Not sure why. And also to attract favorable insects that kill off aphids. Aphids will sap the life out of your flowers and your plant and really kill them. Another interesting fact was that famous Dutch painter Johannesburg Vermeer was really inspired by this plant. You can see it in a lot of his paintings, such as one of these that you may recognize. But, I think this cobalt blue straw flower has kind of done its job and I'm actually gonna get rid of it for transplanting. So first things first, we're gonna get rid of this and I'm actually gonna dry it out. I'm gonna dry out all these beautiful flowers so that I can see what they look like. See what they look like dry, maybe make some dried bouquets. Alright, so today's favorable plant is the poinsettia. We're going to be transplanting this baby. It is a Christmas plant. It goes really red around Christmas. So now that we're in March, it's gone green. To induce the red coloring, you can give it an equal amount of darkness and put it in the closet or put a box over it to make sure that it's getting that equal amount of darkness to really induce that beautiful red. Here's some content of what my poinsettia used to look like earlier. You can see that it's a lot smaller, but you can see how red they really go. So I'm going to be transplanting this because I want it to grow even bigger and bigger, so that come Christmas time, I'll induce it and I'll make sure that it's getting its equal amount of darkness. I'll probably put it in my closet like a weirdo. So I'm gonna grow it really big and then make sure around Christmas time, the whole thing goes beautifully red. All right. First things first, we're gonna rip all of these cornflowers out. We're gonna see where they are attached and we're just gonna start ripping them out because I don't want this plant anymore. It's done its job. It's a beautiful plant. I'm gonna dry it out. But for now, focusing on transplanting our poinsettia. Look, that's gone out clean. Boom. I'm just gonna put our cornflower aside for a second and we'll deal with that later. All right, so we're gonna check the soil first. We're gonna make sure, take out any weeds that have come up. And then we're gonna start breaking the soil up again. Turn it over to get it all nice, make sure it's got nothing bad going in it. Any bugs, any caterpillars, those bloody green caterpillars. If you ever see a green caterpillar, get rid of it. Don't kill it, but just don't have them in your garden. Maybe just put it in someone else's garden. Nah, don't do that. Maybe just don't kill it, but just put them somewhere away from your garden that they're not gonna kill your garden and eat all your leaves and kill your plants. Green caterpillars, they're not your friends in the gardening world. So we're going to be using one of these little forks. We're going to use our fork here. You can get one of these in a 3-pack from Bunnings of just plastic gardening tools. Cost you less than 10 bucks. And so we're going to go in here and we're going to use this fork to break up all the soil, just to loosen it up so that our new plant is going to fit in there real nicely. I'm actually going to get rid of some of the soil in a sec so I can get down to the deeper stuff. We'll have to check how big the roots are so that we can see how much room we actually need in the pot for the roots to go. So really get in there and turn the soil over if you're transplanting into something that had something living in it, because all the soil will set, kind of go a bit hard, and it makes it a little bit harder for your new roots to get into. Just turn it over. Oh yeah, I can remember when I planted all of these, I've got a lot of sheep pellets in here. So the sheep pellets encourage worming. If you can see that nice and close up, it's got a lot of worms in it, and it's got sheep pellets in it from months ago. Sheep pellets encourage the worms. Worms are really good for your soil. All right, so I'm gonna start spreading this apart now, ready for transplanting. See if I've got enough room for my roots. Let's have a look. All right, so first, we're gonna check this to see what its roots are like. So I'm gonna hold it at the base here, and I'm gonna turn it over to allow gravity to push it out. I'm gonna give it a bit of a wiggle, and there we go. Look, it's gonna come out nice and easy. Look, they've taken up the whole bucket. As you can see, this definitely needs transplanting. All right, so first things first, I'm gonna break off some of the old roots. And another thing that I'm gonna do is I'm also gonna start encouraging the roots to move sideways. Our pot is a rectangle, so I'm gonna encourage the root to move to the side instead of down. Don't worry if roots fall off and fall apart, but be gentle. You don't want to take too many roots off. People say you should always trim the roots when transplanting, but I don't like to do it too much because it definitely kills off the plant a bit. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm just gonna hold it there. I can see how deep I need to transplant into our new pot, but first things first, I like to get the water ready. So as I've said to you, transplanting always shocks plants, but I've also said to you that it's a big no-no to fertilize your seedling. Now this isn't a seedling, almost a year old. I know that this is a mature enough plant to fertilize it. What I'm actually gonna do is my seaweed concentrate here, it actually tells me to give 30 milliliters of concentrate per 9 liters of water when transplanting. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set this up. I'm gonna put 30 milliliters of seaweed concentrate in here. And then I'm gonna fill this up with water. All right, I've got my 9 liters of water mixed with 30 mils of seaweed concentrate. We're gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna put my leaking water over there. I'm gonna put the Ponacida there, ready for transplanting. We're gonna inspect our new pot. Is there enough room for the plant to go? Do we need more room? I'm just gonna get this perfect for our new Ponacida to go in. Is that enough room? Perfect. As I said, try and encourage the roots to follow the path of your pot, but you really don't want to be too hard out because you will kill the plant if you take too many roots off. All right, so that's sitting good. All right, so we've got our roots in there, we've got our soil, we've got our hole. Next step, we're gonna water it with about 9 liters of water and 30 ml of seaweed concentrate, and we're gonna water it all so the roots loosen up and the plant is a hell of a lot happier. So now I'm gonna start covering up the roots with the additional soil that I removed earlier. You're gonna pat it down, push it down. The reason why you push it down is so that you can create vent where the roots all are, so that when you water it, all the water sinks down straight to the root. So what's our last step, do you think, before placing this somewhere to be even happier and grow even bigger? That's right, we're gonna water it again. Boom. All right, so there you have it. You've got your beautiful Ponacida plant transplanted in here. I'm just gonna straighten her up a little bit. Make sure she's nice and straight so that we've got maximum room for growth. Beautiful. Okay, so just to recap, we had our cobalt blue straw flowers in here. We ripped them out. We're actually going to reuse them, reuse, recycle, reuse, and reuse again. And from now on, I think it's going to grow even more. And then around Christmas time, I'll be looking to induce the red by putting over a box over it or putting it in my closet at night so that it gets an equal amount of darkness and an equal amount of light, and have a nice big red beautiful Ponacida tree at Christmas time. Thanks for watching episode 2 on transplanting. We transplanted our little bubbers, the little guys, newly germinated seed that you could now call seedlings, into a bigger pot, slightly bigger pot, and we transplanted a big ass plant into a big ass pot. So firstly, before signing off, the little bubbers that we transplanted, the Love Lies Bleeding, they've gone back into the greenhouse because they're tropical plants, they like the heat. This is a subtropical to tropical plant, so I'm actually going to leave it out of the greenhouse at the moment. They like to sit at around 15 to 20 degrees. So until it gets a bit colder here in Auckland, I'm just going to leave it out of the greenhouse on the deck. And then when it gets a bit colder, chuck it in the greenhouse. Thanks for watching.
When